This one came out first. The World. I have the World in the reverse position. The Star in the upright position. Six of Swords, Queen of Wands, reverse. Six of Pentacles, reverse. Queen of Swords. Four of Cups, reverse. The Devil, upright. King of Wands. And the Three of Pentacles. I don't know why. I think this happened last month too, when the cards just like start spinning on their own, because yeah, they're kind of curved at the bottom, but I don't know why. It's only for Scorpio. I don't have this problem with other signs. It's a little strange. But okay, so I'm seeing the same theme as I saw last month, and a lot of you might be in a love triangle situation, okay? I don't feel that, if you're not aware of it, I feel that coming into the picture, it's going to happen like the first 2 weeks. So I want you to be careful. If you're casually dating and you haven't really agreed with, the new person, whether or not to date exclusively. So I do feel that this has to be straightened out, okay? And otherwise, it's going to get awkward more than anything. Feelings are going to be hurt, and I feel that the relationship, or whatever situation, the person you're dating, they're seeing another person. That bond is a little bit stronger than the bond that they have with you. So just be a little bit careful about this and really try to iron that out. Otherwise, it might be awkward for you. So it's not going to apply for everyone, but I do see this coming in, and it's for those who are in that type of situation. And like I said, Scorpios have very, very keen intuition, and you should always trust your intuition. So if you have an inkling about this, and I feel that most of you, this is like an ongoing issue since the end of last month. So this situation needs to be resolved essentially, so that you can move forward, okay? And at the same time, for those of you who are like contemplating marriage or any type of a union with you and a partner, or like you're giving your child away to get married or something like that, I do feel that for most of you who are thinking about like asking for somebody's hand in marriage and then having to deal with their in-laws are of a different element. And at the same time, I do feel there is an issue of like a generational gap, in that they're not approving of you, or there might be like obstacles to getting approval from the in-laws, because they're of a different background, okay? So like they have like different views, different like philosophical beliefs, and a different lease on life. So it's kind of hard for them to like be able to see where you're coming from. So it's going to require a little bit more, I guess, like I know like Scorpios don't like doing this, but you're going to have to like kiss their butt. And you don't have to be, fake about it. What I mean is like, find something that you're good at, invite them out, and then show them, that you're good at that thing. Because whatever you're good at, Scorpios, whatever you're good at, you tend to do it very, very well. You tend to be like very exceptional at it. So, try to like meet people on your terms, because that's where you shine the brightest. So, try to coax them out. I don't feel that there are like total blockages. They're just going to be a little hesitant about it at first, okay? But as long as you can coax them out, I feel that it will be good for you, and especially to restore that relationship in the long run, okay? And to actually foster that relationship starting now, so that they can be, your allies and your supporters in the long run. And I feel, in general, they're good people. They're just not seeing eye to eye on a lot of things. A lot of you too might be like called in to mediate a dispute between like a married couple, or even like a couple that has been dating for a long time. I'm sensing a fire sign couple, but it might not have to be that way. I just feel that they both have a lot of pride, and they're not able to like navigate, let down their guard, let down their pride, in order to like address the other person. So you're like the mediator in this process. And I do feel like, we have fire here, and we have like kind of like air on this side. This is a card of Aquarius. So we have like air and fire. So a lot of like a lot of ego, a lot of harsh words basically. And we have like this is sword, but it's like fire. So I'm sorry, this is like water. So water is like the mediator in between. So a lot of you will be called out to be the mediator. It could be between like squabbling parents, as a marriage counselor even, is what I'm sensing, or just, people in your midst that you're really close with. There's been a big rift between them and they're not talking to each other, so you have to be the one to repair it. But honestly, get involved if you're willing to like release the outcome. So what I mean by that is you want to be there, you want to help them, but sometimes they don't want to be with each other. So if they're like calling it quits, for example, let it be, because you're outside of the relationship. You can only help so much. You can only help them like to see things from each other's point of view. If after you've succeeded in it and they still can't stand to be around one another, it's kind of like outside your control. So don't force the situation, okay? Sometimes they run their course and there's really nothing we can do as outsiders, because the people in the relationship would know best what they need from one another, okay? Okay, so, having said that, that's between friends, and I feel that that could also be like, for those of you who are dealing with a fire sign that is being a little bit problematic, just be a little bit careful, because I do feel that their temper might be a little, it's kind of like their bark is worse than their bite. So, they had like an explosion, like a little tantrum meltdown. So it's important for you to give people their space, okay? And I don't feel that that's it's entirely, I don't feel that you're at fault in this situation. And very quickly they're going to come around and realize that you've been right. So just give it some time. And I do feel in general you are going to be sought after this month for some reason. People are like turning to you as the voice of reason, and you're dishing out advice, especially for women Scorpio. You're the voice of reason here. And then for the men Scorpio, I feel that financial assistance might be needed from you, from people in your midst. Just be discriminate. I don't feel that you have enough to give for the male Scorpios. Be realistic, okay? So don't end up in, the poorhouse as a result of this. So just be very careful about who it is that you're giving out to, and whether or not they're being sincere, because most of them are not. So just, be a little bit careful about what you want to do in this situation, and why people are coming to you all of a sudden, and why, they can't do it themselves, because most likely I do feel that you've helped them out in the past, and it created kind of like a sense of dependency. So just know that in order to help anybody, you really need to like get yourself get your financial situation in order first, to be of help to them long term, okay? And only to the people who are worthwhile, because you can like for people who you can enable people by always being there. I know it sounds horrible, but don't put yourself in that situation. I'm also getting to, for a lot of Scorpios who might have dealt with like an ex, I'm getting that this ex person is very like eloquent, very intelligent, and I don't believe he or she is argumentative, but in your mind you might feel that he or she is very argumentative, okay? I don't feel that they're being difficult with you on purpose. It's just, I feel that you might have been a little bit evasive, and you are very secretive as well, and you don't want people knowing your business, and you are also very cautious about the information that you let out, so you are secretive. And I feel that you might not believe that, but on a compared to all the other signs, I do feel that you are like a little secretive. So this person doesn't really know where you're coming from, and I'm getting this is an air sign. It could also be a fire sign, but I'm sensing like this. The fire sign is like the one that could that's a little like explosive, kind of like they want answers and they want it now, okay? And then you refuse and they blow up. So there's a little bit of a temper tantrum, so just be careful with the fire sign. What I'm sensing is an air sign, and this air energy is like repeated here. I'm getting the Queen of Swords, which is an Aquarius, an Aries, excuse me, an Aquarius, a Gemini, or a Libra. And then I'm getting the Star, which is a wish card, but it is also the card of Aquarius. So for those of you who are dealing with an air sign, especially an Aquarius, they're both in the upright position. So this person is very instrumental in helping you with certain aspects of your life in some way, okay? So you might have to ask this person for help. They might offer their help. I doubt they're going to offer their help because I feel that even for the past few months, this might have been an ex, okay? So this is somebody that is always like a part of you, and he or she doesn't really know where you're coming from. So if you need help, you have to approach this person and explain the story from beginning to end, which is something you're not going to want to do, and I understand that. But it's important for you to give them the backstory, because this person is very analytical. They don't function the way you do. They don't really understand things on a very intuitive level. So they need more of a backstory in order for them to help you and to know how to help you. So they want, it's kind of like they want to help. They genuinely do, but they feel that their way is best. So if they know the whole story, they can best help you. So if you're dealing with somebody like that who is like demanding answers, just know there is a difference between this group of people that wanted answers for themselves, rather than this air sign who wants answers, who wants like the whole story so that they can better help you, okay? So it's important to distinguish when people are just being like in your business or when people are just trying to help. So yeah, that is like the biggest two of the opposing energies that I'm sensing here, because I do feel that in general you've been dealing with this group, and then when this group comes along, the ones that really are genuine and that are very analytical, very level-headed, you feel that they're in your business a little too much, and I don't feel that's the case. I don't feel that you are looking at this, you're giving them fair assessment here. So just, let this sign in, okay? So it's an air sign, it's an Aquarius, a Gemini, or a Libra. So let this sign in, and then try to not aggravate the fire signs, okay, the Leos, the Aries, and the Sagittarius. But in general, the month itself looks very good. You are in high demand, and I feel that your expertise will help a lot of people with their relationship problems. And at the same time, whatever issues you've had in the past, things are going to get resolved, and you're called upon to really help people in general around you. So for women, I do sense it's more like giving advice, emotional support, and things like that. For men, I do feel that people are demanding that there are some financial issues that they want you to help them with, and I can't say, I don't feel you have the means to do it, so politely decline, okay? There is always going to be more opportunities. In general, I don't feel that you are going to be in abject poverty. Money is not going to be the issue here. I do feel that your finances are tied in a bigger investment. So a lot of you might be if you're, thinking about engagement or getting married, your money is tied up there. If you're thinking about a honeymoon, that's where it's tied up, or traveling, or even self-employment as well. I do feel that you have really, really big goals. This is a very, very good card. It's a card of expansion. It's a card of opportunities, and also reaching out to gain all these opportunities. It is in the reverse position on top of the Pentacles card, so it indicates to me that your money is tied up in a larger investment, okay? It's in a larger endeavor. So whatever it is that you've been saving up for, it's going to have a very good outcome. We have the Star card, which is the wish card, and it tells me that in general the future is going to be really great, and there are going to be a lot of abundance. Whatever you're hoping for, especially with this endeavor, it is going to happen, and it's going to have a very, very good outcome. So as a result, your finances and your thoughts and your concerns and your energy is being poured into this one project. And I know that people normally would say that don't put your eggs in one basket. Not with a water sign, though. I feel that water signs, putting your eggs in one basket would make you a lot less scattered, and you have good concentration skills. So in general, the things that you don't invest unless it's a sure thing. So I would say, yeah, don't, that, what you're doing is fine. It has a very good outcome, but because of it, your finances are tied up here. So this is kind of like your retirement. This is kind of like your it's like the big payout that you're hoping for. Okay, so that's where your money should be going. So when people are coming to you and asking for help, it's okay to decline. There's nothing wrong with it, especially if they do it on a regular basis, because you don't want to enable that type of behavior. So that, I feel like a lot of you, money is tied up in an investment, in a project, in something else. For men though, if you are like in a relationship and somebody is, okay, this is not going to apply for all, obviously, but I'm sensing that you might have like a very, for men, you might have a very expensive girlfriend, and I don't feel that she is totally bad, like she's not using you or anything like that, but she has very expensive taste, and you are like siphoning your money that way to appease her. Okay, so just be very, very clear that I don't feel like I need to say this, but it can only go so far, okay, before that veneer wears off, and then you're going to realize what you like. You're going to snap out of it. So if you're in this situation, it's better to snap out of it now than wait till the end of this month when you're going to snap out of it. Okay, so just be careful with that. I'm seeing it for a few men, like I feel that it's not a wife though. I don't feel it's a spouse, because you take commitments very carefully. So you do screen people before you get into marriage situations, especially Scorpio men. So I do feel that it could be like a girlfriend. It could be like even a mistress, somebody that you're kind of tangentially close to, that you don't see on a regular basis, but it's still like a significant relationship, but you're not that emotionally invested in it, but for some reason she has very expensive taste. So just be careful with this energy, because I don't feel that she's malicious, that she's using you. I do feel though she is not aware of your financial situation, so she's kind of overspending. So let her know gently, because I feel she has good intentions. So, I just want you to be careful with that. Okay, so let me see what else is there. Okay, so for those of you who are dealing with like, okay, so this is another way that this could play out for you guys. So I do feel for those who are men and women, Scorpios, who are in relationships, there might be falling out between people, like you and another person in all kinds of situations. You might be tempted to go back to somebody from your past who is very level-headed, and they're not having you, okay? So just be careful about that, because when they say no, they really mean it. So I just want you to resolve the issues that you have now. Resolve it without going anywhere for distraction, okay? So really work at the situations, move on once and for all. Don't go back to exes, because they're not going to, they're there to help you, but I don't feel that as an air sign, there's no malice in their heart, but there's no love either, okay? So you don't really get much love with an air sign. So if it's somebody from your past, I don't feel that it's going to have a good outcome, because the love is no longer there. The friendship is there, they can help you, but just really try to move forward with your life, because you have a lot of good energies. And I know, like even last month too, it's important for you to like really keep focused, okay? Minimize, I keep sensing this too, like minimize the people that you contact with, because they keep bringing you problems. Because I keep getting this like threesome type of relationship, and there's another male, another woman, and another woman here. So and then being tied to the past, and this is like Three of Pentacles. You're building a foundation that is not, it includes two other people, so already it's not stable. And it's very important for you to catch this early on, so that you don't like over invest, and once you're in too deep, then you realize that you can't backtrack and you can't get yourself out of it, because you've already laid the foundation for somebody else to reap the benefits of. So just be very careful. Be careful about the people you date. Be careful about the people you let into your life, because there is a lot of toxic energy as well, okay? And this card, this fire sign woman, it could be a male too, and I'm getting both. I'm getting kings and queens in here. But I do feel that when the king appears next to the queen, like the same suit, it's usually like the same family, or it's usually like a couple. It could also be parents as well. But what I'm sensing here is this. One parent might be suffering, or one parent might have like dependency issues, and then the other parent is, or it could be, one person having dependency issues and having like the inability to let go of some things, or they're not seeing eye to eye, and this is an ongoing problem between them that is so like deep rooted that they can't really resolve it themselves, so you have to step in. But at the same time, you're also dealing with a lot of like toxic external people coming into your life, so it's really important for you to be careful about who you let in. And I say this all for like all water signs, and especially like with Pisces, but I'm starting to see it with Scorpio as well. And based on the Scorpio clients that I've had too, I feel that in general, you are popular. You don't need a lot of, and you're also self-contained. You don't need to be around other people. And this month in general, especially people that you've known for a while, you've kind of aged with them and mature with them, but somehow they're always lagging behind you in emotional maturity, so they bring a lot of problems into your life. Like, they could be physically older than you, but they're also like operating from a place of from a very low place, okay? So it's important for you to start focusing on yourself, invest in your future, invest in that, that nest that you, so that you can have a comfortable retirement if that's something that you're concerned with, okay? And it's okay to turn down, favors, or it's okay to like decline when people ask you, mainly because financially you want to be okay for yourself, for your family, for the people who are important to you, okay? Rather than coming to the rescue of everybody who doesn't want to help themselves. So just be careful about that. So in terms of romance, what I do sense is that there are a lot of people in this spread in general, so I feel that a lot of you might be like dating inexclusively. A lot of you might be, just getting out there and trying to date again. And then the one thing I'm sensing here is this card in the reverse does indicate to me restriction. So somebody might want you to commit, and then you don't really want to because you are afraid of this commitment, okay? Especially for guys, for men. For the women, I do sense that you might not see eye to eye with your partner this year, for those who are in dating or in serious relationships. I do feel that somehow the passion or like the physical chemistry of this is like snuffed out, okay, of this relationship. And it's, if the person is worth it, you really try to fix it. But those are the main energies that I'm getting. And overall there are, let's see, it's problematic mainly because there are 3 court cards, 2 women involved, okay? So for those Scorpio men who are dabbling, outside of the relationship, just be very careful about that, because you don't want to reap bad karma, and you don't want to hurt the people you're dating, okay? And then for like Scorpio women in general, just be aware that I don't feel, just be aware of like jealousies and even, miscommunications, or like even suspicions. I don't feel that it's happening with your spouse. If you're like a Scorpio woman dating like another sign, and you're not dating like a fellow Scorpio, then I feel that you're fine. But either way, your intuition will let you know. This is not going to apply for everybody. So don't go checking your spouse's phone and, for pictures or whatever. It's not supposed to be applicable to everyone. But I do feel there are going to be, it's a little problematic, mainly because we have the women, 2 women in the picture, and I don't feel that they're related to cup energies, and like one person from the past, it could be a new person, and it's just problematic all around. But I do want you to just be discerning about who it is you're dealing with, and know where you stand with them first and foremost before you truly commit to them. And honestly, try to commit to one person at a time, because it is a lot of work. It's a lot of work. So really try, one person at a time. If they've you absolutely do not see a future with them. Break it off and, pursue somebody else, okay? There is plenty of time to pursue other people. So just do it in a systematic, organized manner. Because in the process of like juggling two people or in the process of multitasking, we are not at our best, okay? In all aspects of our life, especially when we're dating other people, you might not be able to reach the emotional depth that you would have if you had just concentrated on one person. So just, I know you know this, but in real life, it's hard to implement the things we know. So I hope that you can at least, implement this advice, okay? Keep yourself like drama free by incorporating less people into your life. Just have like stringent filters and control about who you let in, and make sure the other person is worth it before you even let them in. And don't invite too many people in because it is going to be problematic for you, okay? So I hope you have a good month in general. I do feel like, aside from the relationships, everything else looks very stable. And really try to save up, okay? And you have a very good card here, so it does indicate to me that steady progress, and like for those who are like going back to school as well, or who are contemplating like a trip or like travel in general, it looks very good, and I feel that you need this trip to get away from this and to get a better perspective